Yeah, yeah, for sure.
But
For sure.
why does it feel so good after you run? Why does it make you feel better? Tell me, Maverick.
Well, there's Running with Maverick and Wolfman. Welcome to the podcast. If you're new, it's about running, health, fitness, family, fun, and adventure, all the adventures of life. Maverick here.
Wolfman here. Don't forget to find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Still haven't added that one. X, and the big one, YouTube. When you find us on YouTube, please consider subscribing. Share it with your friends. Tell them to do the same so we can keep coming to people like you. All right. So I posed this question to you a couple days ago, Maverick, and I appreciate your concern, but I am not sick, knock on wood. But should you run when you're sick?
I still am wondering if you're sick because people don't talk about being sick unless they're sick.
So here's how it came up. Again, I do appreciate the concern, but knock on wood, not sick. It is that time of year, and I do have a few athletes that have asked me, like, "Oh, coach, I'm not feeling well. I really want to run today. I can push through it." So, should you run when you're
Great.
sick? What?
Great. Get out there, push through it.
That's funny. I mean, I have done it. I'm sure you've done it. We talked about it last time. Had the flu, ran a race, threw up afterwards.
Yeah.
Definitely used to do it. I had a streak a few years ago. I definitely ran at times when I shouldn't have run at that point. But, now I
Right.
say just take it easy. If you don't need to run, don't run. If you're that sick, definitely don't run hard. Don't race. Don't do workouts. If you feel you absolutely have to run, the easiest of the easy. But, your body needs that rest. You're not going to lose anything in the day or two you're going to take off. That if you make yourself sicker and then you're down for days or weeks.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah. No, it's not worth it. You almost every time it's not worth running through an illness. You should probably just take time off, get feeling better. And usually, if you're a pretty healthy person, like usually you rebound within like a day or so. Like you don't usually have to take off like 6 weeks or 3 weeks or anything like that. It's usually like 1 or 2 days, um, and that's it. Like not a
yeah,
big deal.
right, right,
Rebound pretty quick, especially when you're like so when you're a healthy athlete running in good shape. You usually rebound quickly. If you do take longer than that, there's something actually pretty bad going on. Like you have an infection or the flu. You got to get checked out and get healed up a bit.
yeah, yeah. Especially like if you have a fever, you shouldn't be trying to run with a fever. Um,
Absolutely not.
I've done it. I wouldn't recommend it. You shouldn't do it.
Also, don't go to therapy if you have a fever.
Yeah,
Like we don't want to see you in therapy with a fever.
yeah, yeah.
If you have a fever, the only prescription is a cowbell. Just,
Absolutely more
just kidding.
cowbell.
That's not real. Just kidding. That's a joke.
The last thing I always wanted to hear in my clinic when you came in was, I'm so sick I called off of work today. Oh, thanks for coming to my place of work.
Yeah, I like that. We've gotten this one a zillion times. I'm sure you have too, where they're like, "I threw up before I came in," and it's
Yeah.
like literally, like right outside the door, or you talking like in the parking lot or back home? Yeah, a little bit of everything. Super. How's your car smell?
But yeah, that's where the question stemmed. Um, you know, but definitely like hydrate for sure. Um, but I would just take a break, take the
Take a
rest.
break.
You
Take a
know.
break.
Well, sometimes too, when you're training, depending on how hard you're training, at a certain point, you're walking a fine line of injury, sickness, and health. You're really testing the limits of your body and putting it to a place where you are more susceptible at times to getting sick. So if you're approaching a competition, just stay away from people. If they're sick, just kindly excuse yourself from whatever it is, because you don't want to get sick before your competition either.
Basically, I think sometimes people get, when they're working out a lot, they get a little compulsive, where they are working out vigorously and exercising a lot, and it's hard to step away from it, even if they're injured. Now, that's where it gets risky because they're injured or they're sick and they still want to keep doing it because it's such a pattern and they're so used to it and they feel so much better when they do it. But that's where, like I said, you risk a lot of injuries or having your illness get worse, which we've all probably done, especially like anyone who's like an elite athlete.
Yeah, and you definitely said there. I think you are more you're more likely to continue to try to push through it because you really do feel so good after your typical workout. Like you do. You feel better throughout the day. You feel better in general. You think clearer. I feel you move better. And so, if you're feeling a little sick, you tell yourself, oh, but if I work out, I'm going to feel better after this. And,
Right.
it doesn't always work that way, you know. Now, if I've gotten over or almost over a head cold, and I've got a lot of congestion, I think it does feel good to get out there and run because you can get some of that out. You break it up, s- snot it out on the road, and it kind of clears you out a little bit. But, that's after you've already kind of felt cruddy and you've been sick and it's just getting out of your system.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
But
For sure.
why does it feel so good after you run? Why does it make you feel better? Tell me, Maverick.
Well, there's obviously there's the release of endorphins in your system, which is natural way of
Endorphins. Ah,
getting
wrong hand.
pain.
Endorphins.
It's a natural way of getting painkillers into your system. Um, and not only that, but I mean, there's also the increased blood flow. There's the increased laxity in the tissue, so you feel better with all that. Because basically, like just like anything, like where you're warming up or you're exercising and you're getting the muscles stretched out, basically in layman's terms. You're also getting clarity. Your thinking process. You're letting go of a lot of stress and things that maybe were on your mind because it's hard to hold on to, like when you're pushing yourself with exercise, it's hard to hold on to all those stressful things, all those thoughts that are going through your head.
Stress relief.
Stress relief, no, and it's probably one of the best ways to do that, and that's why a lot of high performing CEOs and whatnot do work out by running to get stress relief and clarity. And people have written books while basically on a run, have come up with great ideas, pretty interesting stuff. And I
Good
and
ideas.
I don't mean to say just running only because obviously like other endurance
Yeah.
workouts, hiking, cycling, swimming, very similar. Oh,
I mean, I think any exercise regimen, you'll see a lot of these guys, they'll do martial arts of some sort or something like that. Just
that's
something
a good point.
very, very registered, not registered, very regimented, very
Back.
structured, disciplined, a lot of patience to all these things. You need a lot of patience for martial arts and cycling and running and triathlon training. Like you need patience for all of these things.
And
So
remember,
you need
you're
discipline.
like micro fine tuning in some of these too. Like, have you ever done like martial arts? Like, you're trying to just get like a little bit better, a little bit more improved, right? And that like takes time. Swimming, same thing. You're like going for like little pieces of a either a tenth of a second or a second. That's it might not seem like much, but like when you do something a little bit different, it will shave off a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Your punch, your kick might be a little more efficient or a little more powerful, or you might be a little more balanced when you're doing something like that, and that's all very important, and that makes all the difference.
Indeed. You lack discipline. Not gonna wipe your
Arnold would
tushies.
agree. Arnold was big on discipline and
He
so
was.
yeah,
He was.
absolutely.
But,
Yeah, do you need discipline for success, people? Remember that. It takes discipline,
ooh,
hard work
that is a
in
good
order to
one.
be successful. And failure comes along with
It does.
success a lot of times. A lot of times before, middle, or after, or all of them. There is failure involved with that, which is really difficult to work through.
Yeah.
Failure stinks, but you do encounter it, and it's important to just get yourself back up and get back out there.
Yeah. Discipline and consistency. I don't know who said it. Could have been Confucius, could have been Michael Scott. I'm saying it now, though. The man that moved a mountain, he started by moving pebbles. If you consistently move those pebbles, you will move that mountain.
I don't
Ooh.
know the guy that moved the mountain. I'm not familiar with him.
Stick with it, people. That's the big thing. If you need a break, you're sick, you're not feeling well, take a break. If you're still not feeling well after several days, you should see your doctor or at least talk to your doctor. But keep yourself healthy. If you take a day or two to
Yeah.
get rested, get hydrated, get better, it will be so much more than the few days you could miss if you try to push through it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with seeing your provider early. You know what I mean? If you're getting in there a little bit and being early and being proactive, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Definitely wouldn't wait too long. I've had people come in to see me months after, years after, decades after an injury. And same thing with going to their doctor. Like, if something's been going on for a while, you really shouldn't be waiting. You should be getting it checked
Yeah.
out so you can see what the next step is and what you need to do to get healthy, get back out there.
If it's longer than a week, you should probably be seen by somebody. Things should not last more than a week.
Things should be getting better.
Yeah.
That's a Confucius, right? Is that what?
Confucius, Michael Squat,
The mountain man, pebble mover,
Squat.
whatever.
Squats.
Squats.
That's going in blooper reel.
So, but yeah, stick with it. Don't be afraid to get back out there to your provider if needed. All right. Just stay healthy. It's so simple. Just stay healthy. Don't get injured. Don't get sick. It's the
Yeah.
quickest, easiest way.
And if you have questions of your own, feel free to email us. It's down here.
There it is.
Running with Maverick and Wolfman at yahoo.com for those listening and not watching.
Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, supporting the show. We appreciate everybody. Get back out there. Stay healthy.
Indeed.
Maverick and Wolfman running out.